Good evening, Power Jam ladies. Welcome to week 3. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. We are going to try to wrap up these next couple of weeks pretty quickly. So we'll have this weekend next week, and then we'll kind of have our celebration of graduation. So I just wanted to say welcome back to those of you who are still following the program and doing your homework. Since the last week has been kind of crazy with the holidays, I just figure as long as you're showing that you are trying the homework and trying to participate, everyone's going to move on this week. So if you feel like you haven't done something or didn't do something right, or you didn't book enough parties, or you didn't get a recruit, that's okay. At this point, we just want to know that you are doing things within Power Jam and that you really are trying. So that being said, I'm not going to remove anybody from the group this week. We'll move on through the homework this week, and then we'll kind of start back over. So next week, if you don't submit the homework, I will remove you. But since we've kind of been in limbo the last 2 weeks with the holiday, we're just going to move on to week 3. So those of you who have done the homework and continued on, or maybe missed something, don't worry about it. We're just going to keep you in the group. This week we're talking about team building and recruiting, which I think we all know is super important. So think about how you're feeling and what you're thinking, and how you initiate the process to get end results for you and your recruit. So first of all, you must believe in the product. You must be excited about the product. I know most of us are excited about the product, but you can't not be excited. So make sure you believe in the product. Make sure you love the product. If you don't really love the product, it's not very easy to sell, because you're always going to have that one negative thing about it. So you want to be super positive about Jamberry and your product. You also need to know have a marketing plan in place. How are you going to reach people? What are you going to do? How are you going to do online parties? Are you going to do in-home parties? What's your plan? How are you going to reach people? Jamberry believes in you, so believe in what you're doing. And I think we can all see that just for all the different things that Jamberry does do for us. They hit on the brand values this week in Power Jam, which is be unique, be creative, be a family, be a blessing, and be generous. And those are just good things to remember about the actual brand Jamberry itself. So be sure you use these values and find a unique thing to you that you can then share with your customers. So let's talk about team building. You always want to be ready. At any time there might be an opportunity for you to reach out to somebody and actually share about Jamberry and what's going on with Jamberry. So always have your materials kind of readily with you. And maybe that's on your phone, maybe that is, I carry one of those Timeless Beauty bags from 31 with all of my information in it. So I always have samples in there. I always have the Host Join brochure in there. I have samples, files, anything and everything I might need to reach out to somebody, even if they're just asking for a sample, or maybe if they're actually wanting more information. So be sure you always have things with you. Be ready at all times. You never know when you'll need to be ready. Also, you want to be enthusiastic about it. So they're going to see your energy. And if your energy is like kind of dull and boring, they're going to notice that. So you always want to be upbeat and excited and happy. So be enthusiastic no matter where you are and what you do. Incorporate your team in every selling situation. So every time you sell something to somebody, you want to treat them as if you're going to recruit them. So if you are having an in-home party and 5 of the ladies purchased some Jamberry from you, those are now 5 potential recruits that you now need to follow up with. So every time you sell somebody, treat that person as if it's somebody that is a potential recruit with Jamberry. Always consider your customers a potential. You always want to plant seeds with everybody. I mean, you just always want to be able to share the Jamberry plan with anybody and everybody. So when people ask me questions about Jamberry or whatnot, I always try to find some way to mention something about Jamberry in our conversation that It's been great for extra income for me. It's been a great outlet for me. It's been a great way for me to meet new friends, etc. So always plant seeds whenever you can. And you're going to have those really with every opportunity. So really be creative, think out the box, and see what you can come up with. Also, when you're interviewing a potential, there's kind of like some rules and regulations that Power Jam has kind of given us. And the first thing you want to do is kind of have an agenda and lay that out for them. So let's say you're calling up Sally this week to talk about Jamberry. Really write down the agenda of what you plan on doing and what you plan on talking about. You want them to know what you plan on doing for the next, say, 20 minutes, either on the phone or in person or wherever you and Sally decide to meet. So have an agenda, know what you're going to do, and let them know that too. And then I think one of the most important things, and I'm glad this is like right at the front, is have them tell you about themselves. It's important that we give them the opportunity to share and talk, and we don't be overbearing, or we don't give them too much information at one time, that we sort of take it slow per se, but let them tell you about themselves. And every time they say something, engage back with them. For instance, if they have a family of 5, you might say, I'm from a family of 5, or whatever it is, but just try to engage in the conversation with them. And of course, anything that might have like a Jamberry reference in there, you'd always want to kind of throw that in if you could. Then you want to share your Jamberry story, and how you started with Jamberry and what you did and how you learned about it and how was your first time trying it, and who introduced it to you. And then you want to share why you do Jamberry. So then you want to go into more of the I'm doing Jamberry because my goal is to be able to stay home and not work a full-time job. So whatever your Jamberry why is, then you go in with that. Be sure you follow up and say at any time if you have any questions, please, interrupt me, ask them. I want you to be able to ask me anything, any questions that you might have. And then, of course, if they say that, obviously if they have questions, answer them as you go, but try to stay on task, try to stick with your agenda, and try to keep it 20 minutes. I mean, you don't want to be talking to them for like 3 hours. Have your agenda and try to stick to it. And then towards the end, you may just say, hey, are you ready to sign up with Jamberry and start your awesome business? Or do you, if they say yes, then, get the process rolling. If they say no, maybe you offer to host a party with them. But one of the most important things you need to do is figure out a time when you're going to follow back up with them and write it down, and then make sure you tell them that also. So let's say Sally was like, I think I really need to talk to my husband about this. I am interested, but I think I need to really think about this and decide if this is the right thing for me. Then the next step for you would be to say, okay, well, why don't I call you on Tuesday and let's talk again and kind of see what you and your husband think. And so just be sure you have a set time you're going to follow up with them, write it down, and stick to it. So that's really what we have on the agenda this week, is just recruiting and making sure that and that you're prepared for when you're out, and that you always think about opportunities to share with anybody and everybody, plant seeds, always have your information readily there and available for you to look at or to share with them. So you always want to be readily available. This week's homework is I will send via the private message later this evening, if not first thing in the morning. But, just make sure you listen to your daily vitamins this week. We want you to write a Jamberry testimonial. We want you to create a recruiting interview script. We want you to connect with your upline and share those recruiting interview scripts. And then create some sort of a document or system for how you can support your recruits. So that's basically it for this week. If you guys have any questions, of course, please feel free to post that. And then, as always, I will start us a thread on the Power Jam Rockstars page, and we will have fun sharing all these fun ways that we plan on growing our team this week. So hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you for week 4.